Hey y'all, welcome back to Bookshelf of Opinions. I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Hannah.
Welcome back from our 1 week break.
Yeah. Sorry about that, but also thanks, guys.
Sometimes life happens. We just need a
Life
breather.
lifed last week. Well, I say life lifed last week. Work lifed last week.
It was just a busy week. Sometimes you just need.
I blame work. For me.
I think same. I'm trying to think. Yeah, just life was busy.
Yeah. But we're back.
We're back. Did you miss us? Y'all can't answer that.
I know some people missed us because they were all caught up and they're like, oh, there's no episode. And I was like,
Oh, really? That's so sweet.
I was like, oh. But I gave them a heads up that there was going to be no episode because they were like, I caught up finally. I was like, well,
I know there's a few.
go back and listen to your favorites.
Yeah. Oh well.
Anyways.
What have you been listening to?
What have I been listening to?
Should we do reading first?
Let's do. Well, we can do listening because I feel like we're going to talk a lot about listening too.
Okay,
so
but I didn't know if we want to do reading first and then transition to listening. But we can do listening.
I think that's a healthy break.
Okay.
So
what have you been listening to then?
I've been listening to, at work, the pop instrumental playlist on Spotify because I finally have control of the music, which means we're not just listening to random jazz on YouTube, which is 10 out of 10. I love it because my bosses don't know what we're listening to, like Espresso or Taste will come on, and I'm like, I know what this is, but you don't know what this is. And so they're like, this is I like this cover. And I'm like, yeah, it's totally good. And then today,
I love instrumentals.
Instrumentals are so good. My Spotify Wrapped is going to be so messed up because of work. Your flashlight's on, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
And then on my way home today, I've been back in my Ed Sheeran mood.
Nice.
And then, of course, but it's only Ed Sheeran mood because I realized Role Model is Noah Kahan and Ed Sheeran had a baby.
Role Model is Ed Sheeran. We saw Ed Sheeran.
That's true. So
I don't know.
But like his music.
Yes, I understand.
And so, and I've been listening to Role Model nonstop.
You're welcome.
For the past week at least. But then the past like all day today, I was playing music for everybody else. Took my Spotify offline, put in my AirPod, and was like listening to just Role Model in my ear, like talking to people. I'm like, yeah, okay. And I've like got Sally When the Wine Runs Out just like on repeat in my ear. Anyways, nice. What have you been listening to?
Role Model.
Good answer. Good answer.
As I'm a massive fan, I feel like I'm doing the Lord's work by converting people.
All right. So we're gonna talk about what blasphemy is.
No, I'm just kidding. I mean, I've just been listening to a lot. I mean, but the past couple of weeks I have been, and then actually I also have been listening to a lot of Wicked as well. But then Role Model. So, yeah. Okay, what have you been reading?
I am still reading Blue Graffiti by Callahan Scogman, and that is okay. I think I finally reached 100 pages.
What's happening in it? Give us a little.
They just met with Sal.
Okay.
And are figuring out kind of what happened at that and the aftermath. But it's been like one of those things. I did read it last time I picked up the page, I think was Thursday. So it's been a couple of days since I've read. Okay. But that's, again, I don't blame work. I blame the exhaustion I feel after work where I just can't do anything except brain rot, which is not good. And I'm trying to figure out the balance of that. But
maybe go on a walk, audiobook.
No, I don't. Audiobooks. I can't do audiobooks of books I've never read.
Oh, no, I don't do that.
But yeah, so we'll see. I'm trying to get through it because I know there's lots of new books coming that I want to be able to give the proper time and attention to, but I also don't want this to end.
I understand that. It's like
but I also want it to just be done already.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to have the mental check of book is read, but I also want to feel like I've read the book.
Yeah.
Which is a whole. Hold on. What have you been reading? I have a whole tangent to go on about that in a second, but I want to know what you've been reading first.
Oh, okay. Last episode I was reading The 5-Star Weekend by Ellen Hildebrand, and then I finished that. And the new Elsie Silver, who we all know, well, I mean, I say we. She wrote the Chestnut Spring series, the other Cowboy series, and then there's her new one. Her new series that's all it's like Wild Love, Wild Eyes, and the third one came out, Wild Side, and then she just announced the fourth one, Wild Cards, which I think comes out, I don't know when it comes out, September maybe. Okay. But those tropes are all single dads. I feel like that's so weird. But they're cowboys, okay? So I've read Wild Side, and I'm gonna be honest. I
Be
did not
honest.
enjoy it as much as I enjoyed the other 2 in that series.
Hmm.
It was still good, but, I don't think I loved the main girl character, and normally the girl characters kind of annoy me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
The dude just wasn't it for me, and that's okay, it's okay.
Interesting.
So now I'm reading, Room for Rent, which is like a thriller, and this girl needs a place to stay for college because she can't afford a dorm or something like that, and so she's staying in this really, like, rinky-dink shack, and she thinks someone's
Interesting.
haunting it. It's kinda I kinda stopped reading it because I mean, last night because it kinda scared me a little bit. But I
Okay.
also
Okay.
been on, like, a really strict true crime documentary streak, so it's just horrible.
Mm.
Anyways, so that's what I've been do you wanna do your tangent of
So my
reading?
tangent,
Okay.
yeah, I saw it the other day, and it makes so much sense of someone like explaining why, as a kid, we could go through chapter books so quick, and like how we've also kind of hit that mental block as an adult. Because like I remember, like elementary, middle, high school, like I would read a book like ain't nobody's business, and I know in like the past year or two, I've read books like 5 books in a week. Like I know I have that capacity, but it's the fact, like someone was pointing out there, like when you read Percy Jackson for the first time, like you were just reading Percy Jackson. You weren't reading anything into it. You were just reading the words on the page the same way you would just watch a show, just like secondhand. Like it was nothing. But now that you're an adult and you're fully able to process the meaning behind words, it takes you a little bit longer because your brain is fully comprehending everything you're reading, and you're actually able to like read it at the author's intended capacity. Even if it's writing for like a kid, like you're fully still able to get the whole thing. You know, does that make sense?
It does, but I agree with you. I halfway agree with you on it because I did fully read into certain series where I was like, "Oh, I feel this with my heart and soul." Does that make sense?
Yes,
But I
but
also,
also I feel like at 12, I
I
didn't have
mean,
the full like
my
I was
emotional
like
capacity now is
my emotion.
completely different.
Well, yeah, that's what's like
Yeah.
you've grown into it, so you're reading at the even though at 12 you're the intended audience, which means technically the emotional capacity is like already
Mhm.
written for you. I feel like it's
But
completely
now as
different
an
reading it
adult,
an
you
adult.
feel spoiler alert, you feel the pain of Percy falling into Tartarus with
Yes.
Annabeth.
Like
Yeah.
you
I okay,
understand
yeah.
you understand the consequences and the true intent behind the words, as opposed to just being like, "Oh, I wish I was Percy Jackson because he has all these things that match
Yeah.
with me,"
I guess
or "I see myself in Annabeth Chase because she's also so smart and does da da da." Like
I guess I would just say
I don't know. I feel like
no,
there's a deeper thing that makes you read it a little not slower, but makes it a longer read, or makes it a read you don't want to end because you actually understand what's happening. Does that make sense?
yeah, it makes sense because I think like you read it to the full capacity you can as a kid, but that's the mental state of your brain as a kid. And now as an adult, you read it to the full capacity as an adult that it makes sense.
Yes.
And I mean, it could change when you're 65, you know?
Exactly.
That makes sense.
Anyways,
Yeah,
that was my whole
that
tangent. Is
makes
I saw that post and I was like, this makes so much sense of like how when I was little, I used to like read like I mean Magic Tree House books were like 100 pages, but
Mhm.
still I'd read a Magic Tree House in like 3 hours and I'd be
Yeah.
like, this is great. Give me 5 more.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
let's just keep going.
What's that,
14 of them.
fantastic. I need 14 more
14.
to
I
go.
need 14. Like,
Yeah.
that's exactly what it was like. And
Yeah.
then now I'm like, let me sit with my 300-page book for like a month
Yeah.
and really feel it out.
Oh, yeah,
So,
I mean, that makes sense.
anyways, that was my little
Nice.
sprinkle of
Okay. I'm
nonsense.
looking at the notes I wrote. Um, what did you think about the Oscars?
I'm
Which I
gonna
know,
be
granted, that was 2 weeks ago by the time this comes out, but that's
yes.
okay.
That was almost 2 weeks ago. I did not watch the Oscars live. I only went back and watched like the opening because I was not home when the Oscars went live, and it's always been me and my mom's tradition, and she wasn't home either. And then the next night we went and we watched the first like 20, like we watched the Wicked compilation is what I'm going to call it for this. And like as a family, and then that was it. Like someone changed it to something else. I was like, oh, I thought we were like watching the Oscars. We weren't watching the Oscars, which is totally okay. So I haven't like gone back and watched like I know some I have some thoughts and opinions on who's won what categories. But we're gonna go real quick. So because I watched it live with my parents, like my dad and my mom hadn't seen the full Somewhere Over the Rainbow to Home to Defying Gravity, right? It was Home. That's what I thought. It got my dad to want to watch the movie. We haven't watched it yet, but he to the point was like, if Cynthia Erivo was ever Elphaba on Broadway, he's like, I would pay money to go see her on Broadway. and he also just has a strong thing against pop stars like performing Broadway songs, and so he's against Ariana Grande as Glinda because of that. And he was like, she just hearing her next to a pop star, he was like, this is why Broadway is Broadway. So it was just exciting to me having that little moment for him. But he was like, but I can appreciate Ariana Grande be like, he gave her a little something. And then my only other thing is the fact that Amelia movie, Emily, whatever it is, the one with Zoe Saldana, which I know we talked about. Amelia Perez, that's it. With Zoe Saldana, and I know Selena Gomez is in it. Winning Best Musical doesn't make sense based off of the clip. I haven't seen the whole thing, so I can't judge it. But it just doesn't make sense to me. And those are the only strong thoughts and opinions I have, because I didn't watch the Oscars fully, so I don't have any other thoughts and opinions. What about you? Because I do know you watched them.
Yeah, I don't typically watch the Oscars, but me and my mom were watching it. What happened actually was your sister-in-law texted me and she was like, "Are you watching the opening line or scene?" I was like, "No." And she's like, "You have to," because I was planning on to, because I knew they were gonna do it. I just didn't know what it was gonna be. And so then we were able just to get the last, like we weren't able to watch it, so I had to go watch it somewhere else. Cried. Just Somewhere Over the Rainbow is like one of my favorite songs. Like, it was my graduation song. I mean, it was the Hawaiian version with the Hawaiian guy, but like that song's just always special, you know. And I thought her dress was so funny. Ariana Grande's her ruby with the ruby slipper on the back. Weird. It was weird. I thought that was funny.
It was so weird.
And then I liked Cynthia Erivo's "To Home" or whatever that song was.
Yeah,
it was nice. And then Defying Gravity, and the way they had them like staged was so cute.
The only thing I wish is when Cynthia Erivo went up at the end, like when the platform raised, they actually showed her raising on the platform and not just like a close shoulder shot where you just like it moves with her, you know, like that. I was like, why are we doing that? Yeah. But sorry.
No, you're fine. So I like that. And then we just ended up watching it. I'm trying to think my thoughts. I'm disappointed Timothée Chalamet did not win anything, because I thought A Complete Unknown was a fantastic movie. Like, I thought, as someone who's a fan of Bob Dylan, I thought it was done fantastic. And I thought, I mean, he did like 6 years of work to play this character. So if that felt a little bit frustrating, you know. I'm glad that Wicked won Best Costume and Visual Set Design. That's important, but like no supporting actors, no leading actors. But
I also appreciate they got credit where credit is.
Yes.
Like the categories that people don't pay attention to, which sounds bad, but I'm glad.
No, and
because Wicked won, they got the attention it deserves.
Really, Wicked, a lot of work was put into those sets and those costumes. So yes. I'm glad that it got that recognition. And banking on next year, just because the second half of Wicked is a lot more emotional. You know, maybe that's something else, but it's also a musical, and they doesn't always, especially the Academy, though, it's not about, the Academy in specific with the Oscars is not pop culture. Like the Golden Globes is pop culture. The Academy does not. It's not that way.
Hopefully with part 2 also, the fact that they're adding unique original songs to it, could also help their chances if it's less mainstream, like, oh, well, it's already been done because of Tony's.
Yeah, so that's what I'm hoping for. And then Cynthia Erivo would hopefully, if she gets an Oscar, she'll be the youngest EGOT winner, which would be super cool. I like that they had Mick Jagger present an award. I thought that was funny, and he was like, they want to get Bob Dylan, but they end up getting someone way more attractive. I thought that was so funny. I mean, I thought the Oscars were fine. Like, I mean, I was a little bit disappointed, but at the same time, like, it was fine.
Yeah.
I'll have the movies I had never heard about. So
there's part of me that like wants to go back and watch them, but then at the same time, I'm like, no. As much as I love them, award shows you just can't like go back and rewatch. I feel like
they're hard. When they did the tribute and like remembering all the people who they've lost this year, and then Maggie Smith appeared, I thought, oh no, I can't do this. So
I forgot we lost her this year.
I know. I was like, I was not prepared.
Oh, but wait, that makes me sad again.
Yeah, I know.
Oh. Well,
but Cillian Murphy was there, so I was happy about that. I love him. So, okay, role model concert. Okay,
role model concert.
So, as you all know, people who consistently listen, I love Role Model. Loved him for. Actually, I don't know if I've actually said this on the podcast, and I told you this earlier. I listened to him in high school back when he was like, a wannabe rapper, which I feel like is really embarrassing now. But Mac Miller helped him get a start. Like he heard him in Pittsburgh and brought him out to LA and everything. And so I loved him. And I kind of like just didn't really pay attention to him a whole lot. And then his newer stuff. So I've been wanting to go to this concert for a long time. And we went, and Hannah Bell went, convinced him to go.
She has the best friend.
And the concert was amazing. Like, I just thought it was so fun. Like, one of the most chaotic concerts. Not chaotic, really, but he's a chaotic person.
But it didn't feel like...
No, but that's the energy.
So controlled. Like,
it does, but I'm saying it in like a compliment way. Like, it's supposed to be, chaotic.
But expecting chaos, like just the chaotic energy, I was like, this feels like the most tame concert I've been to ever.
Oh, really?
Like, I mean, take out Taylor Swift because it's over choreographed.
Wow.
But like other concerts, I'm like, he's only said a couple of things that are like, I couldn't even think of like something overly unhinged that happened that I was like, this fits. But it all still fit the vibe.
Yeah. 2 people passed out though, which was a little bit concerning.
That is true. Actually, no, that has never happened at a concert for me that I've known of people just like passing out.
I've never known that either.
To the point of like having to stop the show like we saw like with Eras Tour also. That I did forget about that. It was so good.
I mean, I danced the whole night and sang. What were your thoughts?
I loved it.
As a fan of him now, what were your thoughts?
As a fan of him, so I became a fan when you told us we were going to the concert, or you asked us if we wanted to go. I was like, I'm going regardless because I like concerts. Like, so I like him. I appreciate his music more, but that's also, like I was telling my mom, I was like, I appreciate the fact that I've been raised in a family that has taught me to appreciate music, like regardless of who the artist is, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, so concerts in general, you could have like been like, Hannah, you've never heard this dude's song, but let's go. And I'm like, yeah, let's go. But then like obviously knowing all of his music made it. There were like 2 songs that I did not know. And then I realized going back and listening to him, I'm like, no, I did know these songs. I just didn't know them in the moment because they were performed live, which I feel like alters the chemistry of like.
Yeah, I think it does.
But it was good.
Mm-hmm.
My one thing is just like tall people, if you're in a pit, like tall people, take off your cowboy hats.
We have some people. There's a 6-foot girl in front of me.
Don't just like honestly like stand. I get it. Like you can't help being tall. Like I got you. However,
be considerate. You got some shorties by you,
and they were technically standing towards the back. Like there were like, but make sure the person behind you can see, and that like there's still like a window, and don't immediately like smush next to someone else and then block a window. Like no, that's not how that works. That's like my only thing is I saw like center stage was blocked for the middle part of his set, which was fine because he moved around the stage a ton. But like the middle part of his set that I could not see was Francis and Compromise.
No,
like those 2 specifically. Like I think it's jumping of like what was your favorite. Like how is your favorite song changed, or is it different than like what was performed? Those 2 watching them be performed live, they're not my favorite songs on the album, but they were my favorite songs live. Like I cried during Compromise, and Francis just had me like in a completely calm like state.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how to explain it because like I'm at a concert and like I was overly anxious and like just like filled with everyone's energy and everyone singing, but then at the same time I was just like, this is weirdly peaceful.
Yeah.
And it also has me a little sad, but it doesn't have me like sad. It has me happy sad.
And I think if you listen in every song he has written, especially on the album Kansas Anymore, like all it like his lyric, like it is, and I know like people like a lot of lyrics are really good, but like there's something about his lyrics that are so well done, and he writes all of his own songs.
And the honesty of Francis specifically,
yes,
is just like gut punching. Yes. And then the message of Compromise is also just like a slap in the face. Yeah.
Because he only recently learned how to play the guitar,
which is crazy.
Because Lore, in case anyone's wondering, because I'm a fan, he dated Emma Chamberlain.
That's what I thought.
And Emma Chamberlain's dad taught him how to play the guitar. So this whole album, like Francis, that's Emma Chamberlain's middle name. That song's like about her.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many songs that are about, and like he like in every interview he speaks so highly of her. He's like, we both just we wanted to be with each other so much that it ended up making us grow apart.
Mhm.
So I appreciate how he speaks of her. I'm just speaking as if I know them, but you get what I'm saying.
No, but
I love this man's digital footprint. Like, he is the most chaotic, like, TikToker, like, Instagram user. Like,
mhm.
he's just so funny. But yeah, Francis is something that's so peaceful. Like, I cry during Francis. I always cry at the dinner.
Mm.
I cry at that one. But I think that's also because it's like I click my heels 3 times because of the Wizard of Oz. Like, that's
Yeah.
so important to me. So this
It,
whole thing kind of being Wizard of Oz ish themed,
yes.
I was crying.
The dinner has the same vibe as like Home, Oregon, um, like different
Hmm.
songs that like you would play at the end of a
Hmm.
coming of age movie.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but I
Yeah.
also my only critique is I was honestly expecting him to play the dinner towards the end of his set, like how he would have closed it out is like Take Me Home. I
Mm.
would have either opened the show with it, which I'm glad he opened it with Writings on the
Well.
Wall, but I would have like pushed it like further and made it like a since
Mm.
it feels like the like it just
I understand.
it
Or
feels
yeah.
like I see it and it's good that he came back and did Deeply Still in Love.
Hmm. I like how he did that because he was like,
I
"See
did
you later."
too.
He's
He
like,
was like,
"Oh
oh
wait."
wait, because when he ended with Sally, I was like, wait, we're in like not mad about how we're ending this, but I'm like, this is what we're ending with. Like,
Yeah.
I need one more.
And I kid you not, like, when Sally played, everyone
Every
was
the whole
jumping
room
and
just
dancing. Like,
lit
my
up.
videos are so shaky of that, but, like, everyone was just dancing and singing.
Yes, and I like how he's bringing out. I was wondering how he's like bringing out people.
Mhm.
I like how he's bringing out like the famous-ish people,
Yeah,
like
but
the
then when
people
there's
who can
not, it's
vibe.
just random people, and
Yes.
I'm like,
Did you see the
"Lucky
clip of the
you."
little kid from I Can't Even
Austin.
Dance?
I love that
And
one.
then he brought out Ash in Nashville.
Yeah,
I was like, "Aw."
I know, precious. I think he's a
We had
very
a random dude from TikTok.
yeah. I mean, I think he's also just kind of uh grounded
Mhm.
celebrity in a sense. Um the girls also standing like to the right back by us were so nice.
Yes.
I kept on turning around being Hannah and being saying, "I'm so happy." Like the amount of times I said that and looked at you, I probably looked like a kid on Christmas morning. Like, I was so happy. But what did you think of the opener?
She
I liked her. I enjoyed her music. I just
her
didn't.
music was great.
Her talking bits, I didn't enjoy.
No, she sounded like a wannabe country Disney princess.
Yeah, she was sounded. She. I
There
just
just was something.
couldn't.
There was something that was
I'm
missing.
just kind of shy. Like that's
I'm
I.
just kind of
I have
shy.
secondhand embarrassment doing that
Hold on, guys. I'm gonna make a paper airplane.
and dance while you're making the longest freaking airplane of your
Yeah, like
entire life.
no, but her band.
Oh,
I love the fact that they had a guitar, a guitarist, a drummer, and then she would come kind of play keys, sometimes guitar, sometimes guitar, but like the overall
hmm
music, chef's kiss 10 out of
yeah,
10.
they were good. It was
They
good.
were good. No complaints.
Mm-mm.
Loved their vibes too, because you could tell they just did not care.
Yeah, they were
But
just
like they
there.
cared, but
But
they were
they're
just
just
like
they're vibing.
they were there to play music. And it just so happened to be that there was a crowd in front of them. And
Oh
I
yeah.
loved that.
Okay, so what is your favorite role model song?
I think okay. It was Writings on the Wall. And then the deluxe came out. And it became Sally when the wine runs out. But so I would say like those two have been my favorites, which I know they're like the top songs. I don't care.
Honestly, writing on the wall, like that's not that it's not a big one, but like it's more, so it's not someone that people hear. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, but I like that. But then, like I said, the show, like actually watching him perform it
Mhm.
all, like Compromise and Francis were my because I listened to them obviously when I listened to the like prepare like listening like as you do to the artist
Mhm.
before you go to the show. But it wasn't like until I listened to them. Oh, and it was also hold on. However, he sang that. Hold on, I have to pull up. Mm. It was all of like his softer. That sounds weird to be like softer songs, but you know what I mean.
Mhm.
Of not the instrumental. Because what was it? 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 Um, somebody else.
Oh, the 1975 cover?
Mhm.
Mhm. When that came out on TikTok, I lost my mind. I was so
The
excited.
fact that that's out, I was like, yes.
I was so
So
excited. Yeah, that is a good one.
that
I
was
thought
a
that was so
good.
good. That was very good.
But what about you?
Um,
I know. Wait. narrow down to favorite song on the album and if it differs from your favorite performance, like favorite song at
Okay.
the show.
Well, I have a few favorites because I have a favorite like one of his first EPs. I loved "Notice Me," which he performed and stuff. And I also love "Blind," and so those aren't on the current
Mhm.
album. Those are some of his older
No.
stuff. I love "Blind." I love the way that's performed. Um, but on the album, I love I wrote them down because I didn't want to forget. I know them obviously. I'm gonna just start listing all of them. I love "Slip Fast."
Oh,
Like I will all that's
so
I'm
good.
always gonna play that song, and I love "Something Somehow Someday." That one makes me cry. If he
That one
that's
makes
I
me
really wish he played it, but I
I
also
do too.
I feel like you can't play that and Francis. Like I feel like that was a bit too.
I think he could have played both though. I think
I
he could
wanted
just
him
done
to.
a double hitter, just knock
Yeah,
hit the emotions real hard.
yeah, and I love the dinner and stuff. But I
Mhm.
just and I love Super. Anyways, I think probably my favorite is Slip Fast, the dinner, and then Something Somehow Someday.
I don't think he has a song on Kansas anymore specifically that I don't like.
Oh no, I love all of them. And there's like some
And it's
songs are
kind of
just completely not the vibe of the
no,
rest of the
but
album.
at the same time, I'm just like because there's a lot of most albums I listen to. I'm like, there's like one or two songs that I'm like,
Mhm.
there. This is not a 10 out of 10. It's an 8 or a 9 out
Yeah.
of 10, but it makes a 10 out of 10 because of the artist.
Yeah.
His music is a 10 out of 10, and he happens to be a talented
Yeah.
dude singing.
Yeah, and I love the way he performed all of them. Like I love the way he performed Sally when the wine comes out or runs out.
It all felt like an actual concert and not a stage performance. Like it felt
Yeah.
authentic to him and not
Yeah.
like, oh, I have to go here now and then I have to go here now. It was
Yeah.
just him.
Um I'll be honest. Um Slut Era Interlude cracks me up because it's so different. Right, it's that's more like his
It's
original stuff. It is so different from the rest of the album.
but it's such just like a breakup in the middle of the set too. Also,
Because
like
all of a
it just
sudden you're
happens
like,
and you're like, oh,
"Oh wow!"
okay.
You're like, "Was not expecting that," you know.
But also,
Great song. So, anyways, if you haven't listened to Role Model, I'm sure hopefully we've convinced you by this
yeah,
point.
highly recommend.
Um, I cried going to bed Friday night because I was so happy. Like it was so happy to me. Um,
I wanna see him perform again.
Me too.
I just want the vibes. I want to go to a concert again. That let's be real.
I know. Do you have any other concerts lineup?
I don't have any concerts this year. I want to see Big Time Rush
Mm-hmm.
because yeah, I was a Big Time Rush girl, and they're doing like their actual episode, like the songs they played on the show. That's what they're touring with right now, or about to start with, and I want to see them. And they're over the summer, and so like I could go. I just got to get someone to go with me. But then like outside of that, I don't think there's anyone this year that I know of currently that's touring that I'm like
Yeah, that's what I
I
can't.
want to go see them.
I can't think of anyone currently. That's
Like because again, I'm in that place of I'll go to a concert for the sake of going
me
to a
too.
concert, but there's no one that I'm actively like seeking out. Let me know when their pre-sale starts and like go,
Mm-hmm.
which makes me sad because usually there's. But I guess that's kind of like Role Model was the concert for this year.
I've gone to a concert every year since 2022.
Did I go? I've gone 23, 24, 25. I don't remember if I went in 2022 to one. Oh, I did because that was Ben Platt. Mm,
Lucky.
that
I
was
saw
such a good concert.
2022. I saw Lumineers, Elton John, and then a music festival that had like Zach Bryan, a whole bunch of people. 2023 was Stevie Nicks,
Mm.
and I want to say something else, but I don't know. Then last year was Nile.
And when was Louis?
Oh, Louis was 2023. Thank you for reminding me of that.
Welcome.
And then last year was Nile, and then in Gay, Georgia, they did that music festival. I saw the band Diamond Rio in Alabama. And then this year, Role Model. So keeping my streak alive.
I know. I got to find one for 26 now. Go ahead and get ready.
I know.
Because I think I've only done one a year.
Mm.
Because 22 was Ben Platt, 23 was Taylor Swift, 24 was Niall, 25 was Role Model.
I've seen 2 with you so far.
Look at
I
us.
know.
Um,
Okay,
So
by the time this episode comes out, it'll be like 3 days until
a new Hunger
New Hunger Games.
Games.
Sunrise on the Reaping. I always say the wrong name.
It's okay.
Pretty sure it's Sunrise on the Reaping.
How are you feeling?
I'm getting kind of scared. So like I don't know what to expect, and I'm trying to like go in with like an open mind.
Yeah.
I mean, I know how it, you know how it's
know
gonna
what to
end,
expect, but you don't know like
but we don't.
how you're getting to the end.
I'm like, is this gonna make me like fall even more in love with Haymitch, or is it gonna make me hate him? You know what I'm saying?
That I'm not excited enough, if that makes sense.
I have not been excited until like this past week.
I keep forgetting that it's March and that it's about to come out and all this stuff, because otherwise I'm like, I don't have a thought. Like, I don't want them to touch Hunger Games, but at the same time, because it's the selfish thing of like, I want the original fans to stay the original fans, and it's like whenever movie versions come out, I'm like, you fake fan. But then at the same time, I'm like, no, I want everyone to love this and like talk about it, but I also don't want people to like over theorize things.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't want to say when I said I wasn't excited. I was excited. I just think I wasn't thinking about it. And that whole thing, it's like when you love something so much and then you share it with someone, you don't want it to like take away your feeling about it.
Yes,
that's hard. But then
and
also,
I'm
like that's just like
point out something that would be like make me not like Haymitch for some reason. I'm like, please don't take away my love for him.
But I'm excited. I'm going in with an open mind. Yeah. Not that I think it's going to be bad. I just with an open mind. There's
nothing wrong with that. I honestly also forgot it was, like I said, was coming out.
But I think it's because it took such a long, like she announced it such a long time ago. And then the movie.
And then the fact that we already know we have a movie coming in a year is like also what's making it hard for me.
That makes me feel a little bit weird.
Yeah, but they know their audience, and they know that if they do a book, everyone's just going to expect a movie because it's a book movie franchise at this point.
Do you think we will get a Finnick a book then, since we got a Haymitch one?
As much as I want a Finnick book, I don't think I can emotionally handle a Finnick book.
I don't think I can either, but I'll let that book destroy me.
Like, I genuinely, like, yes, I would read it. I would be glad if she did that, but I don't think I could take a Finnick movie and it not be Sam Claflin.
I agree. I couldn't watch it if it's not him.
And unfortunately, I think he's aged out of playing young Finnick.
And unfortunately, sadly, and he has veneers now.
Yeah, and in addition to that, unfortunately, there's no future Finnick for him to like.
Yeah, I still love Sam Claflin though.
No, I love Sam Claflin. Nothing against him. No hard feelings. If CGI wasn't our only option to get him to play Finnick, I would have been down for it. Because like when we saw Finnick in the Hunger Games, I know we were seeing he would have been a year or two younger. However many years, 3.
Yeah, he was 14 when he won. So yeah, you can't have Sam Claflin.
So you can't have Sam Claflin. You could have had Sam Claflin when Hunger Games came out. Like you could have fudged it a little bit.
Oh yeah,
but this
no, this man has kids.
Yeah, this man is a grown adult now. So there's that.
Yeah. I hope the music is really good for the new Hunger. I'm hoping so, just because
they haven't had a bad Hunger Games.
No, they haven't.
Soundtrack though,
not at all.
Which that could be this though. I hope not.
I hope not. I forget how good. Not that I forget that it's good, but I just every time I listen. To Ballad of Songbird and Snakes, I'm like, dang, this is so good. So yeah.
But all right.
Okay.
Speaking of book theories,
yes,
Fearless theories.
We have a month.
Okay, did I send it to you on Instagram? I saw something of someone was talking about how they hope that like Fearless is going to be the happy ending, and Lauren Roberts has like already said it's going to be a bittersweet ending. And that scares me.
Okay, so here's my theories. I feel like Fearless, I just realized I said that multiple times. I feel like this could be like a 4-book series, but it's not because this is the last one. But I feel like we have a potential for it to have had a 4th book, but it's not.
But I think the 4th, like those potential books are her novellas that she's releasing. Yes. Which we're supposed to get one this year, aren't we?
I think we are. Okay, so these are my 2 theories, and I'm unhappy with both. But
then give yours, and then I'm gonna give. Okay. I have one.
Either spoiler alert. Okay, not really. Kaya's gonna die, and by default, Kit gets Paden because he loves Paden so much that he's willing to sacrifice himself so she can live in a greater world. and it's gonna be this whole thing of like
don't like
her and
that.
Kit are gonna remember Kai and love, and that's gonna be like the loss of her life. Oh, I know, but I feel like I can see Lauren Robert doing it because she is one of us. She understands.
Yeah.
Or, Peyton's gonna die, and neither one gets her because she's gonna sacrifice herself, and she's not gonna tear apart family because she understands the importance of family, and they're gonna be like, no, but she's then is gonna sacrifice herself, and she'll die. Or
I don't like that either.
yeah, but those are the only like for some reason my brain's like those are the only two possible ways.
The only other thing that's coming. Wait, do you have more theory to add to that before I go?
I just have one. The one thing is that like I love Kit. He has done nothing inherently bad, but
No.
he doesn't know Peyton in the way Kai does, so he does not understand the full love capacity. That's all I'm saying. I love him.
Yes,
but Kai.
No, I agree. So my theory is because we've obviously seen the little issues with Lauren Roberts and how some of her books mimic other authors in their series. Red Queen, Dance with the and the inspiration. She gets inspiration from other authors. I mean, all authors get inspiration from other authors. But anyways, I think it's going to take a selection route. The first book of the selection is Powerless. We see her kind of feeling out both of her options, but she ends up going more towards Kai, aka Maxon. Hear me out.
I like that Maxon's Kai.
No, because it has to work in the end. She then, in the Elite, we see her drift away from Maxon.
Mm-hmm.
She goes towards Aspen.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. Flip it. I'm so sorry. She's feeling out her options in Powerless. Sorry. Kai is Aspen.
Okay, never mind. Change my mind. Hate this.
I'm so sorry. Kai is Aspen for all this to work. Because then in the Elite, she goes towards Aspen a lot more. She's hanging out, really diving into that, kind of forgetting about Maxon, so she's forgetting about Kit, even though they had a little connection happening in Powerless. We get to Fearless. And so that's what's happening in...
The one.
No. Powerless. Fearless?
Powerless, Reckless.
Reckless. Thank you. I was going to say Reckless, and I was like, Fearless is the last one. I'm so sorry. Reckless is the Elite. The one is Fearless, where she's feeling hurt that she can't be with Kai, Peyton is, where Mara can't be with Aspen. And she's realizing that she's been forced, essentially, to be with Maxon. Making sure all this tracks in my brain. Yes, I think it does. However, so she's kind of, in this case though, instead of ending up with Maxon, she's like kind of settling for Maxon, except I think in the actual thing, Maxon, Kit is going to end up dying. I think the rebellion is going to come back and kill Kit.
I agree with, I feel I can see that because Kit.
But do you see what I mean? Of like the push and pull of how each book kind of like in a weird...
Yes, I get what you're saying because Kit also, as the king now, he feels such a duty for his country that I feel like it's going to be this thing of like, oh, let me set. Either way, one of the three of them is going to die. Like, yes, I know that.
Also, the destined. What's the betrothed, betrayed, destined for each other? Question mark. What is it?
Is something like that? Something. I have no idea.
Hold on. Let me just look up the Fearless cover and know for sure.
One of them's going to die. Like, and I'm not. My theory is not what I want to happen though.
Betrayed, betrothed. Wait, betrothed, betrayed, destined for each other? Like,
yeah.
Who's destined for each other?
I just also think that, like, Kit just doesn't see every part of her, which is fine, but that's not for her. Like, he is not the one for her.
It's giving, like, Cole and Selena.
Yeah. You don't get to pick and choose what parts of your
you don't get to pick and choose, and it's like Kit doesn't see that Peyton has had to survive on the streets and like all these things of what she's done to overcome being powerless. In the same way that Cole didn't see that Selena was a trained assassin. Of course, she freaking kills people. Yeah. You can't just like push that out of her and like force her into some royal role.
Then with that mentality, there's the hard line of being like, but because Kai and Peyton both understand each other in this damaged ways that like 2 damage is not going to work out well. But I don't think that works.
We see it work out in the Red Queen.
Exactly. So
well, work out,
you know, subjectively. But I know Lauren Roberts loves Kit. Like the way she talks about it, I know she loves Kai, but I know she loves Kit. But I'm also like, you still love characters and they not be the one, you know, because you loved Adina.
Yeah.
No, so it's not.
So let's not hold too much weight on who she loves.
Yeah.
Maybe she's saying who she loves so much because they're gonna die.
Yeah.
In a really self-sacrificial way, or just self.
Yeah. I'm scared, honestly. Um, I'm
I think
excited.
unfortunately we should be.
I'm really sad that it's the last one though.
I don't like that.
Also, I will just say this on here. I'm not a fan of the Lightlark series anymore. I'll
I
explain it. Lightlark was so good. It was so different than anything I've read. Nightsbane, that's what it is, wasn't bad because it's Grimm's POV and it was like his life and stuff and I love that, you know?
mhm.
Skyshade was so just like I feel like she was just writing just to get a book out and it just felt I just
No.
couldn't comprehend it.
And
And
now
I'm not
whatever weird book that's coming out that's from Grimm
the
and
Aura
Aura's point of view, I don't want their point of
no, so
views. Like I do, but
I
not
don't.
just
And
their book.
she's like I get the whole like, oh, I don't know who, but like there's something about Isla that like she legitimately like will not
It's like she legitimately I don't think she knows who. I
no,
don't think
and I
she's
think she
plotted the
doesn't
end of the series.
yeah,
She needs to take a page from Rebecca Yarros and already know how she's ending book 3 when
yeah.
she's actively writing book 1.
Just terrifying, but do it because I think like in Lightlark she's like, "Oh yeah." No, I think Lightlark she didn't know. Then Nightsbane it was totally set up to be Grim, and then Skyshade was totally set up to be Oros. Like I just
It's like she
but none
doesn't
of it is following consistent pattern.
know.
So I don't think I'm gonna read the next books. I'm gonna be
I am
honest.
going to because I want to finish the series.
And I normally
Like,
would commit it, but I don't wanna waste my time on it. I
we'll
might
see.
not. I might not, but I feel weird about it.
It doesn't hit the same way because it came out at the same time as Powerless,
Yeah.
roughly in the same time. It just doesn't hit the same.
Mhm.
It's like she tried to go too one way. And again, like you already said, it doesn't feel like she plotted the end of her book
Mm-mm.
or the end of the series.
Yeah. It's just weird. It's very weird. Um. All right. Questions, comments, or concerns on daylight savings?
Yesterday, okay, because spoiler, we're recording on Monday.
Mhm.
Daylight savings was Sunday. I felt great. Like genuinely, the most energy I got and the most sleep I had in like a couple of weeks, probably. Like I got a full 7 hours, guys, and that's phenomenal for me right now. Today, which the rainy, gross weather has not been helping by any
Mm-mm.
means, but like last night, I maybe got 5 hours of sleep because my brain I couldn't fall asleep till after midnight, and I had to be up at 5:30. And because normally what midnight was would have been 11, which is my normal go to bed time. So technically tracks, but it's just like
It's
it's not the
right
math
now.
is not mathing
Yeah.
as it should. And so my one of my coworkers, she was like, "All right, now begins the fake sleep cycle. None of this time is real. It's all just like made up." She's like, "But don't worry, in the fall it'll be real time again." I'm like, I knew there's a reason I like the fall.
Yeah, but I would rather have as much as it's harder for me to transition to this daylight savings than it is the fall. I would rather have this daylight savings.
To me, it doesn't make like I get why we have one. I just feel like I have to go on the record and say I do appreciate daylight savings. I know why, like I appreciate it from the farm, like the whole traditional why we have it. Totally good with it. I have no issues with daylight savings. However, if we kept this daylight savings, like it doesn't matter which one we keep. For me personally, I don't know.
Oh yeah, I mean,
It's a matter
I don't.
of am I losing sleep or gaining sleep? I
Yeah,
don't care about the hours in the day because I like my drive to work this morning. Granted, it was rainy, but it was pitch black outside,
yeah.
and it would have been a little bit lighter had there been sun. And I would rather have a sunny morning than a sunny night. Like I
Well,
like the sun
yeah,
setting at 7:30 and 8 o'clock, but I also like seeing the sun rise at 7 a.m.
yeah. What I meant is like I don't. I'm fine if we never change daylight savings. Like that's what I'm used to. I
Mm,
have no care whatsoever, and I like in the winter like it gets darker faster. It feels very wintry, and everything. And in the fall and stuff. But it's harder for me to just adjust to the spring daylight
hmm.
savings. And yesterday, I felt like I lost an hour. I mean, I did technically lose
We
an hour, but
did,
I felt like it was later than it was when it was actually. It was supposed
yes.
to feel earlier, which was weird. But I also think that's because I have not slept well at all this past week. Like getting probably like max 4 hours of sleep. Like just not doing well in my sleep schedule. But I do appreciate that it's lighter outside.
Yeah.
I won't complain about it.
I'll say it was weird driving home from work at being like 5:30 and looking like it was 4:30. No
Mm-hmm.
chance of like even now looking outside, like the sun's just barely setting,
Yeah.
but it's still like bright.
Yeah, I didn't like I'm walking into my building at work pitch black. Did
I
not
don't.
like
It's
that.
walking to work. It finally lit up some. I was like, no, thank you.
Yeah, no, I was not there for it.
But
Stressed
we
me
can't
out.
control those things.
No.
Hashtag government.
So it's almost spring.
Yeah, it is.
What are you looking forward to in the spring? This is such a weird question, but it just popped in my
I
head.
don't know. Easter, which feels basic, but that's like
Oh no, Easter's a great one.
I'm not a spring person because my allergies go berserk. And then the rain just kind of makes me sad when I have to go live my life and I can't just enjoy the rain, you know?
Mm.
Can't release my inhibitions. Feel it on my skin. But no, oh, and I guess my sister's birthday is in the spring. And so if I was a good sister, I would say I'm also looking forward to my sister's
And
birthday.
your half birthday, duh.
Yeah, my half birthday's in the spring. Thank you so much for reminding me, guys. Or Elizabeth.
Guys,
And then saying,
you're welcome.
it's the voices. Anyways, what are you looking forward to in the spring?
I'm looking forward to spring break. For school and work.
That's true. Do you not have spring break for school in like this week or next?
Next week.
Okay.
So I guess by the time this comes out, I'll be on spring break. For some of my classes. But I'm excited for. I don't know. I always like spring weather. Like spring is my favorite time, and I love Easter. So I'm excited for Easter. Well, that's what I'm excited for.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's nothing big happening in spring. Like I can't. Just excited.
You should just be excited for the season, though.
Yeah.
Well,
lots of good books coming out in spring. So
yes, because okay, so we have Sunrise on the Reaping, followed by Fearless,
then
followed by Great Big Beautiful Life,
then One Golden Summer,
One Golden Summer,
and then September skip you have Fake Skating by Lynn Painter.
I forgot.
And if you're an Elsie Silver fan, you have Wild Card, which is also in September.
Oh, I forgot. Lynn Painter had her hockey YA coming out.
Yeah.
God bless.
So I mean, we have a lot coming up, which I feel like always happens because also the spring is a very popular time to release a book, and then I'm like left dreaded.
But I also feel like it's a good, like for me right now, I appreciate it because I can finish Blue Graffiti and I feel like I have time to read things throughout the year. I don't think I'm going to hit my book goal this year.
That's okay. You never know.
That's true. We don't know what the summer and fall hold, but right now we tapped. But that's okay. And with that, that's all I have.
That's all I have.
Well, yeah. We'll see y'all next time. Yeah.
Listen to Role Model. That's all I have to say.